Welcome to the Further Light Podcast, presented by Wisconsin Freemasonry, helping you accomplish your Masonic goals through education and more light. And now, I present to you, Brother Chris Ludke.
Listeners, scholars, brothers, this is Brother Chris Lidke, and today I want to explore, in one of our summer short series, the Masonic Path. This is from an article printed in the Masonic Journal. It was written by now worshipful, Brother Victor Magnus. And as part of the summer short series, this is looking at topics in fairly short form, roughly 10 minutes or less, that you'll find interesting while mowing the lawn or out on vacation or driving that very long distance with a 10-minute podcast. But it works in our mind. So let's move on to the Masonic Path. The full title is The Masonic Path, Cultivating Leadership and Continuity. This is again by worshipful Brother Victor Magnus. In volunteer organizations, the need for continuity amidst changing leadership is a constant concern. Unlike corporate entities where leadership changes are often rare and strategic, many volunteer-based organizations operate with leadership that turns over regularly. Masonry, a century-old fraternity founded on the principles of brotherly love, relief, and truth, offers a compelling model for how organizational leadership, when anchored by structure, tradition, and foresight, can sustain institutional integrity. Some could argue the heart of this success is known as a progressive line, a structured path of leadership development, in my opinion, designed to ensure continuity, competence, and commitment. Organizational leadership involves more than occupying a position of authority. It means casting a vision, aligning members with shared goals and sustained momentum, even during periods of change. In volunteer organizations where roles are typically unpaid and membership is motivated by service rather than salary, leadership must also inspire intrinsic motivation and commitment. The absence of monetary incentive elevates the importance of cultivating meaning, direction, and recognition. This becomes especially critical when leadership roles change frequently, which can threaten that cohesion and effectiveness of the organization if not handled with care. Freemasonry, in its enduring relevance, offers a time-tested approach to leadership transitions through what is known as the progressive line. The progressive line is a structured, deliberate path through which members ascend through a series of offices. This approach nurtures knowledge, experience, and leadership qualities over time. Typically, a brother starts in a junior station, such as junior steward, and ascends through the offices including senior deacon, senior steward, deacons, wardens, and ultimately worshipful master. While elections are held annually in most lodges, the progressive line should operate as a developmental system, preparing each officer for his next role with increasing responsibility. By the time a brother is elected worshipful master, he has served in nearly every essential capacity of our lodge, and is well versed in ritual, administration, and governance. This structure should ensure that transitions are not abrupt or uninformed. Rather, leadership is cultivated steadily and passed from one brother to the next with an understanding of shared vision, cultural values, and procedural continuity. The strength of Freemasonry's leadership model lies not in the structure, but in the underlying mechanism, not only in the structure, but in the underlying mechanisms that ensure its effectiveness. One of the most significant of those is structured mentorship. Past masters and senior officers should regularly guide as needed those progressing through the line, fostering both institutional knowledge and personal growth. This mentorship emphasizes not just technical proficiency, but also moral development and the principle of servant leadership. Another key element is the presence of established rituals and traditions, which provide continuity even as individual leaders change. These rituals serve as more than ceremonial acts. They function as a unifying language of purpose and identity across generations. Additionally, progressive learning is embedded within the leadership journey as each officer carries specific duties and lessons that help members build the skills and confidence needed for their future roles. Finally, when Masonic leadership positions are filled through annual needs of future roles, finally, while Masonic leadership positions are filled through annual elections, they are heavily influenced by a culture of succession planning tied to the progressive line. This practice allows for a smoother transition of responsibilities and ensures a measure of predictability that reduces disruption and maintains consistency in leadership. Mentorship, Masonic education, and the passing of time are critical components that strengthen the leadership model in Freemasonry. The importance of mentorship cannot be understated. Past masters and senior officers provide guidance that ensures the continuity of values, knowledge, and wisdom. The ongoing mentorship fosters both personal growth and understanding of duty. Masonic education, deeply ingrained in the fraternity, offers more than ritualistic knowledge. It teaches moral development and servant leadership. Over time, each brother's gradual progression through the line builds not just technical skill, but a deeper understanding of leadership, the lodge, and their community. The combination of mentorship, education, and time equips Masons to face leadership challenges with wisdom, creating a steady and capable foundation that supports the lodge through every transition. These mechanisms ensure that the change in officers does not equate to a change in direction. The lodge continues its work with consistency, purpose, and dignity, a lesson many volunteer organizations could take to heart. Freemasonry's progressive line offers practical lessons for any volunteer-based organization facing regular leadership transitions. First, preserving institutional memory is crucial. Documenting procedures and encouraging membership helps prevent the loss of knowledge when leaders step down. Leadership development should also be a gradual process. Structured paths like the officer line prepare individuals over time and set clear expectations. Consistently reinforcing core values helps maintain identity through change, grounding the organization in shared purpose. Finally, while structure provides stability, flexibility is necessary. Like lodges that adjust the line when needed, organizations should adapt to circumstances without losing sight of their foundational principles. It is also important to recognize that not every brother is called to progress through the line, nor should they be expected to. Some may find their service best expressed in other roles, mentorship, ritual support, or simply as a steady, trusted presence in the lodge. Others may step aside voluntarily, allowing for new growth while preserving balance within the line. Freemasonry allows room for that discretion, reinforcing the worthiness is not measured solely by titles held, but by the integrity with which one serves. Leadership in Freemasonry is not about personal power or prestige, it's about service. Each station along the progressive line is not a promotion in the corporate sense, but a calling to deeper responsibility and humility. The master does not command, but rather should steward the lodge, ensure harmony, diligence, and brotherly love. This ethos of servant leadership is profoundly applicable to all volunteer organizations. While many models emphasize authority and position, Freemasonry places value on personal conduct and inner worth. The working tools of the craft are more than ceremonial symbols. They are guides for living with integrity. The square reminds us to square action with fairness towards others. The plumb calls us to walk uprightly in our station before man and God, and the level teaches us that we are traveling together on the level of time. These tools are not just lessons from moments of ritual, but quiet reminders that how we live consistently and consciously matters more than the title or the position. Freemasonry offers a powerful example of how structure, tradition, and values can sustain a volunteer organization through changing leadership. Its progressive line, emphasis on mentorship, and consistent principles provide continuity when it's most needed, whether by those who hold an office or those who simply live the teachings. Freemasonry's strength lies in shaping character. In doing so, it quietly fosters stability, purpose, and growth across generations. It's interesting because Masonic Lodge is a strange leadership position in that really, if the leadership line is working as it should, if any single member were to drop out or even half the line were to drop out, the lodge doesn't cease to exist. In fact, we've seen that scenario in numerous lodges across time and across the state, and they've all survived. Even mine has gone through massive leadership shifts just since my membership in 2010 with that lodge, and yet the lodge continues. It's not that the leaders themselves are the most important thing, but rather the structure of it. And that's the importance of the structure, the importance of trying not to have brothers jump up the line in 2 or 3 years, and the importance of making sure that we are rotating those brothers when possible so we don't end up in leadership crises in the future. That being said, thank you for joining me, Brother Chris Lickey, and the entire Further Light team on your quest to find more light through Masonry.
Are you interested in learning more about Freemasonry in Wisconsin? Visit wisconsinmasons.org to learn more about Masonry and access further educational content and more light. Once again, that address is wimasons.org. Any questions, comments, or suggestions, please email us at education@wisconsinmasons.org. And thank you for listening.